Chodesh Elul. Technically, yesterday was also Rosh Chodesh Elul, but it's a 2-day Rosh Chodesh. So today is the first day of the month of Elul, and today we began getting ready for Rosh Hashanah in earnest. As we at Shacharis this morning, we blew the shofar for the first time of the season, and we are going to be blowing the shofar every weekday, all the way up until Rosh Hashanah. And obviously, the concept of blowing the shofar is to let us know that Rosh Hashanah is approaching. So a month before, we are told it's time to get ready. And what exactly are we getting ready for? So in this week's Torah reading, Parsha is named Shoftim. Shoftim is judges, Vishotrim, and officers and of the court. That the talks about the laws of how we have courts, and of course there are people to enforce the law that the courts put in. And Torah tells us, Tzedek Tzedek Tirdof. A person should be pursuing justice and righteousness. That's what we should be pursuing. And there's a number of different ways of understanding this verse. Um, for example, the Rabbeinu Bachaya says, take it very simple. It's every person should be pursuing justice in everything they do and be righteous. Really, tzedek is more righteousness, that we should be pursuing righteousness in everything that we do. That he says, your actions and your words should be righteous, right? We should make sure that what we say to other people, we should make sure that the things that we do are completely honest, etc. And therefore, it would be a message to everybody. However, really on the in the context of the verse, it seems to be talking more about judges in particular, not just about the individual, and or at least related to judges. And therefore, the Seforno says actually, when you're appointing a judge, that when even those who are in charge of appointing judges, they have to make sure that they appoint a judge who's an appropriate judge, because if you appoint someone who is not qualified to be a judge, even if that person is not dishonest, obviously, if you appoint a crook to be a judge, we got a problem. But even if you apply you appoint someone who is basically honest, however, they're ignorant and they don't really know the law, they're going to make mistakes in the law, and there's going to be may not be corruption, but it will be a corruption of justice because they're going to end up doing the wrong thing. So there's also a message to those who appoint judges to make sure that you appoint a proper judge and that the person is going to be able to judge righteously. However, Rashi takes a different take, and Rashi says that it's talking to the litigants in a case, and it tells you halech acha bezdin yafa, that when you have a case and you have to deal with somebody else and you want to bring a case against somebody, make sure you find a good bezdin. Don't just take any court. Look for the best court that you can find, meaning the judges who are going to be the highest quality judges you can find. Now, in Jewish law, that we can have a bezdin. You don't have to. It's not maybe as the way it is nowadays in Canadian, where you're kind of stuck in the court where you are, but you can go someplace else and get well, you could even put together a bezdin of your own by finding sages or rabbis who can be on the court. So he's telling you find it, and this is a quote from the Gemara in Sanhedrin, and the Gemara over there actually specifically tells you, go after the greatest sages, and the names a few of them, and the idea being that if you want to make sure that you have a proper judgment, then you want to make sure that you have the best judges possible. Now, the question is, though, who is that talking to? If it's talking to, let's assume that one guy is the honest guy and the other guy is the dishonest guy. Well, if it's talking to the dishonest person to say he should find a good court, why would he want to find a good court? He obviously is going to be, he wants to find the most corrupt court he can because he must have a chance of winning. But it's talking to the person who really wants to do the right thing, the person who's honest, and is telling you that even though you are 100%, you at least you think you're 100% right, you're trying to do the righteous thing, everything you do, you should still make sure that you find the best judge possible. Because you want to make sure the idea of the best judge possible is that that judge is going to be the most knowledgeable, and he's going to be able to discern the real truth. Because it's possible that, I mean, maybe it never happens to any of us, but we could be wrong, right? It's possible. that sometimes you think you're right, but you're really wrong. And you are not trying to do anything dishonest. You just really believe that you were in the right. But sometimes you made a mistake. Something happened. You didn't, or you forgot something. You didn't realize something. You didn't know the law, whatever it might have been. Sometimes you could actually be in the wrong. And therefore, the Torah is telling you, we want you to go to a judge that's going to be able to, you to find a judge that's going to be able to make sure that if you have a claim, you're right. So that's what Rashi's telling us. And if you think about it though, you have to, a person who's going to court, right? If a person wants to make sure they're going to win a case, they're going to be very careful in terms of the evidence that they bring to the case. And especially when you know that the judge is really on top of his game, right? And some of the lawyers can say that there are differences between judges, right? And you sometimes prepare maybe a little differently for certain judges than others because you know how they conduct themselves. But you are going to prepare to your utmost to make sure that you have all the documents you need and all the witnesses, et cetera, et cetera. Says that idea is what's happening right now for us. As we enter into the month of Elul, we are telling us that Rosh Hashanah is around the corner. It's 30 days away. That's it. And 4 weeks, actually 4 weeks from tonight is going to be the first night of Rosh Hashanah, right? So what that means is the day of judgment is coming. We have a court case coming up. We're the litigants in the court case. We're being judged. And we need to make sure that we have our papers in order. We have our proofs in order. We have all of our documentation, etc. We have a month to get it together. And therefore, we're going, and which court are we going to? Going to the best court possible. We're going to Hashem's court. The judges don't get any better than that. So we're going to finding the best Beis Din possible, the best court possible, and we are given time to prepare ourselves. The shofar is telling us it's coming. You got your thing in the mail. Well, now you're getting your shofar call in the morning, and it's going to be telling us every day for the next 4 weeks, get ready, get ready, get ready. And during this time, we are supposed to prepare ourselves. We're supposed to make sure that we've gotten rid of any of the negative, make sure that we're putting in the positive, put in good words for ourselves. And also remember that Hashem, although Hashem is the judge, Hashem is also a merciful judge. And therefore, Hashem is going to maybe say to us, look, if you've shown me that you are going to be different than you were before, then I can give you good judgment anyway, even though you did something that you shouldn't have done, because you're showing that you're turning over a new leaf. You're showing that whatever's in the past, that's not happening anymore. And therefore, as we go through this month, right, and we hear the shofar, it's going to remind us that yes, Rosh Hashanah is coming. It's time to get our house in order. What are the things that we are doing that we maybe should stop doing? What are the things that we're not doing that we should start doing? And how are we going to present ourselves on Rosh Hashanah to the ultimate judge in a way that's going to say, we deserve the positive judgment, we deserve life, we deserve a good life, and we are going to be better than we were before.